Welcome. You're listening to The Best of Investing. I'm your host, Edward Brown. My two co-hosts, Mark Hahn from Nam Phan, may or may not join us later on in the show, but we do have a special guest. We're going to be welcoming back Michael Brouse, who's a reverse mortgage specialist. Our phone number is 888-912-1190. Use that number to answer the trivia questions for a 5-pack tanning certificate given away during this show. And that certificate's not sponsored by the radio station, but by Tan Bella Tanning Salon with 2 locations in San Francisco and 1 in Marin. Today's trivia theme is entertainment trivia. So, Michael Brouse, you've been on our show a couple of times, and by popular demand, we're having you back to discuss reverse mortgages. You sent me a list of very interesting topics. I thought we'd just get right into it. Let's see here. What does H4P stand for?
Yeah, sure. Well, it's great to be back, Edward. Thank you for having me back on. I always enjoy our conversations together. So H4P stands for HECM for purchase.
Okay. Now, do you have to maybe explain what HECM stands for?
Yeah, sure. So HECM is a variety of a reverse mortgage. It's the FHA, Federal Housing Administration reverse mortgage, and it stands for home equity conversion mortgage.
All right.
So that's the, that's the, mortgage. Say again?
We all just think of that as a reverse mortgage.
Right. HECM, it seems like they would have been able to come up with a better acronym.
Yeah.
A little bit more digestible, but yeah, HECM is what it's called. And sometimes people say, what the heck is a HECM?
Yeah. Well, I guess they rather than say HERM, home equity reverse mortgage, people go, what? HERM? Okay.
Yeah, the latest and greatest kind of title that they've given it, what I'm guessing is the marketing folks got involved in this. They're calling it equity release.
Oh.
Equity release.
Interesting. That's yeah. I mean, it is kind of like that, isn't it? I mean, it's releasing your equity.
It is. I mean, that's,
you have to have equity in the home in order to have a reverse mortgage. Yeah.
That's right. Yeah, age 62 or better on the FHA program. But yeah, it's basically tapping otherwise trapped equity in the home and using it to have a more comfortable retirement and, pay for things like long-term care, in-home care.
Real estate taxes.
Real estate taxes, yeah. Some of the things that come up in life that may not be available from.
Yeah, it seems like just a lot of people are, as they say, real estate rich and cash poor. I mean, it's almost kind of like why they came up with Prop 13 back in 1973, I think it was, or 76, when some people, the real estate taxes were going up so high that some people were being forced out of their houses because their income was low.
Yeah, a lot was happening specifically with Prop 13, and you may remember there's another name that they gave it. It was 2 gentlemen's name. Jarvis Gann? Yes.
Yeah.
Yep. That's it. Good memory. But what it was is you had folks who purchased the home when they were married, maybe had 2 incomes, and then one of them pass away. And with increasing property taxes, it was super difficult for the single remaining individual to keep up. And so they said, hey, we're going to do this Prop 13 where it captures the existing property tax rate and allows them to maintain that through their life, and then pass that on through blood if the family members want to purchase the home. Now, I'm not a tax professional. I certainly don't do taxes for the county, but that's still on the books.
So this is more of a theoretical question, which I mean, we all know the government just wants to take money. I mean, instead of real estate taxes, they should just say extortion fee. I mean, that's okay. I can deal with that, because I look and I say, just because my property values go up, let's say we have a really good year and they go up 15%. Why would the real estate taxes have to go up? I mean, unless you're going to have 15% more in services and road condition, whatever else our real estate taxes are going to go for, Maybe it's just for the bureaucrats' pensions. Yeah, let's all vote for that. I'm all for that. You know,
Right.
Not,
Yeah, they want a piece of that
yeah.
equity growth that comes along. But if you look at some other states, and I'm licensed in California, but
Yeah.
States like Texas,
Yeah.
Along with the property taxes, there's some other stuff too, things called Melrose.
Oh,
And basically the homeowners they pay for the the infrastructure of the neighborhoods.
well,
In
it helps when
addition
you
to
don't
this,
have real estate. It helps when you don't have state income tax.
that's true.
And you actually have a little bit. When I don't know how much their sales taxes are in Texas, but I got to think that I mean, everything in California is more.
Yeah, I know, it's
Because
crazy.
even I think Oregon has high property tax percentage.
Right.
I think it's upwards of 2%.
Mm-hmm.
The thing that's kind of unfair is that when the percentage is really high, it's going to limit the values going up for people to accumulate wealth. Because when
Mm-hmm.
people buy a house, that's one of the costs they have to seriously consider.
Yeah.
Which is interesting because I heard a statistic that there were 60,000 house purchases that were going to go through that the contracts got canceled because interest rates went up. And a lot of people now looking at it, now we can't afford our mortgage payment. Same thing with real estate taxes. Tell you what, hey, we're going to go. This was a fast break. We're going to go to our first commercial break. Entertainment trivia. In which movie does Clint Eastwood utter the line, "Go ahead, make my day"? All right, call 888-912-11. This is actually a hard question. 888-912-1190. First caller with the correct answer wins that tanning certificate. All right, stay with us. The Best of Investing will be right back. Don't touch that dial. Welcome back to the Best of Investing. Edward Brown here along with Michael Brouse, and we have our first trivia question of entertainment. In which movie does Clint Eastwood utter the line, "Go ahead, make my day"? Now, what's the character that Clint Eastwood plays?
Oh, I know he had a big gun.
Yeah, that's right. Big 44 Magnum. That's right. Okay, so it was he plays the Inspector Dirty Harry.
Dirty Harry.
But it was not in the movie Dirty Harry. There's Dirty Harry, and then there's Magnum Force. It wasn't in that one. It was in Sudden Impact.
Oh, Sudden Impact.
Yeah, I mean it's kind of because it's like his most famous line, but it wasn't even in the first one.
Classic.
Yeah, I like the other one where in the first one he says he goes, "I know what you're thinking, punk. Did he fire 6 bullets or 5? Well, I'll tell you, in all this excitement, I lost track myself. So you have to decide, is this your lucky day? Well, is it, punk?" Something
Wow.
like that. I think that's the line. If I'm
Yeah,
not mistaken.
I think you just nailed that.
Yeah, I'll take my Oscar.
Right.
All right. Okay, so now we're talking.
So good.
Thank you very much.
It's such a good. He had such a good poker face.
Oh yeah,
his iconic lines.
I'm a ham, I'll tell you. Okay, so Michael, we're talking reverse mortgages, and
We're not. We're talking Clint Eastwood.
Clint Eastwood. Yeah, that's right. Okay, now let's change to a little business here.
It's a lot funner, isn't it?
A little funner, yeah.
Former mayor of Carmel.
Yeah, yes, that's true. Okay, so folks 62 and older can purchase a home with a reverse mortgage and never have a mortgage payment for the rest of their life. Now, most people, I think they think of reverse mortgages in terms of, I already own my house and I either own it free and clear, or I have a small first mortgage that a reverse mortgage will pay off the first and give me some extra cash. But your tagline here that I'm reading talks about purchasing a home with a reverse mortgage. Explain how that works.
Yeah. So the idea, you've heard of folks that are in a home that doesn't fit their needs anymore. So it can either be
maybe 2-story and they want to downsize to get on one level because they're old like me. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. No. Yeah. And it's they call it the term called right sizing.
Oh, that's cute.
So right size, you've heard of upsizing, upsize, downsize, right size. So this is a right size. They're not really wanting a bigger home, or in some cases they are.
Yeah.
But really right sizing is, look, they haven't seen the second story of their home.
Yeah.
For years maybe, and they've converted the downstairs bathroom and they're doing all of their daily needs in there, and they've set up a bed in the living room. And because they don't want to sell, and there's some few obstacles there, they want to stay they want to be in a home, they want to own a home, but they're worried. And really the number one reason goes back to kind of what we were just talking about, is they feel like if they sell the home, and they purchase another home, that their property taxes are going to go up.
There are some exceptions to that, where you can carry over some of the same basis. I don't know all the rules. I think it's Prop 19, if I'm not mistaken, but I know there's some rules about that. There used to be you had to go into the same county. I think they changed that.
That's changed, yeah.
It has changed, but
that's changed, yeah. You can. There is transferability in between counties now, and you can actually do that more than once.
Good.
It used to be it was just a one-time deal after a certain age.
Yeah.
But that's the deal. The folks have been in the home. They've raised their family. It worked perfectly when there was a bunch of little ones running around. But now they're kind of they're empty nesters. Maybe have some knee issues or hip issues, or it could be just that the house is too big, or there's too much property. It's overwhelming.
Yeah, they have big yard they have to take care of, that sort of thing. Yeah.
Pools, those got to be clean.
Yeah.
And sometimes it gets to the point on a fixed income where the gardener, I'm not going to do that anymore, and then the pool cleaner, I'm not going to do that anymore. And so it's like, okay, I'm not even in the pool anymore. I haven't even seen the second story of my house in a couple of years. What are my options?
I thought that's why people had children, to take care of that stuff.
Right. Yeah. Well, Jimmy and Sally moved away.
Oh, they did.
They come back for the holidays and they love the home. But as far as the maintenance, they're just not tied in, because somebody took care of that all their life, and it was just kind of there. But the idea of having all this inventory that potentially could be available, and I'd love for the the realtors that are listening to kind of say, hey, can you talk with the folks that you sold a home to 20 years ago?
Mm-hmm.
Just do an annual review and say, hey, how are things going? I know this rising interest rate environment, I've seen a lot of people right sizing. Is that in the future for you all? And they say, yeah, well, we'd love to do that. Then when you dig down, Edward, into why they're not selling and moving, that is the number one fear, is that my expenses are going to go up.
No, that totally makes sense. Hey, before we cut to a break, give out your information in case people have questions about.
So I can be reached by phone or text at 707-888-8230, or you can hit my website at norcalreverse.com. norcalreverse.com. It's not packed with a bunch of details and explanations, but there is a really cool reverse calculator on there, and that's what I find a lot of people want to know, is how much equity they could qualify for.
Exactly. I mentioned about, I was kind of teasing about, that's why we have kids, to handle all that stuff. So my son did move away because he got married and all that fun stuff. And
that's
so
a good thing.
It's a good thing, yes. But when he comes home, he actually does ask, hey, kids, there's stuff you need around the house. So of course now I'm making a list, and paint the house, put a new roof on, and install a new pool type of thing, right? And Dad, I'm only going to be here for a weekend. I go, hello, what does 24/7 mean to you?
Edward, you raised him right, but I think you're overloading him with some of those tasks, unless he's a contractor and he's got subs.
That's it. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Well, I'll have to send this video to him and the audio, and hopefully he'll still want to visit me.
Doesn't hurt to ask.
Yeah, he's a good kid. Okay, let's see here. Our second trivia question is: when not fighting crime, what did Underdog do for a living?
You know what? I actually think I know.
You know that one. All right. Call 888-912-1190. First caller with the correct answer is going to win that tanning certificate. Again, when not fighting crime, what did Underdog do for a living? And so again, the first caller with the correct answer calling 888-912-1190. He's going to win the tanning certificate, which is worth over $100. And then we also want to make a mention here for the Mount View Hotel and Spa in Calistoga. I don't know if you've ever been there, but right on Lincoln Avenue, it's got one of the nicest pools with, all the bubbling water, well, actually it's not bubbling, but it's like, what are the salt, not the sulfuric, but what do they call it? Those pools?
Minerals?
Minerals. There you go. That's
Mineral
what I'm
bath,
thinking
yeah.
of. It's got a beautiful mineral pool. It's really
Good for your
it's
skin.
a very, very sweet property. You got to check them out at mountviewhotel.com in Calistoga. All right, stay with us. You're listening to The Best of Investing with Edward Brown and our reverse mortgage specialist, Michael Brouse. Don't touch that dial. Welcome back to The Best of Investing one more time. I'm Edward Brown, your host, along with my special guest, reverse mortgage specialist, Michael Brouse. Our second trivia question: when not fighting crime, what did Underdog do for a living? Michael, what's the answer?
I'm going to say he was an insurance salesman.
No.
He was.
No, he was a shoe shine boy. Remember? Underdog.
I remember Underdog.
I used to love that cartoon. I love that. I love the
Why did I think? Where did I get that? Oh yeah.
Underdog. I love that. Okay.
Oh yeah. I knew he had a briefcase. It seems like he was.
Yes.
Did he carry?
No, that's what he carried his shoe shine stuff in.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. And then
I thought those were all his life insurance documents.
Yeah. I think didn't he also like go into a phone? Did he go into a phone booth, or did that mean Superman did that?
I think he did.
Did he go to a phone booth? Okay.
Yeah, I think so. Underdog. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. And who played Underdog?
Underdog.
Wally Cox.
Really?
He did a lot of the famous cartoons. Okay.
Interesting.
So
you mean so? Wait, you mean an animator or
Yeah.
David?
Yeah. He
Oh,
was
okay.
the voice.
Okay, got
Underdog was not, it was a cartoon, so he was a voice.
Yeah, he didn't really have any talking parts, right?
Underdog?
Underdog?
No, sure he did.
Oh, he did. Okay.
Sweet Polly,
Oh.
And there was a scary looking short guy with the scary face. It was I can't remember his name, but he would talk like this and go, "Underdog, I'm gonna get you." Okay. All right, now onto the serious topics of reverse mortgages.
Right.
All right, so Michael, explain how does this work? Because you were talking about specifically reverse mortgages where you're purchasing a home with a reverse mortgage.
Yeah. So the mechanics are: there's a homeowner that's 62 or older. They want to sell their home. They want to right size. So they're going to sell their home, and then whatever proceeds they have, they're going to use that to purchase the replacement property. So you need to put 50% down on the home you're purchasing, right? And you're purchasing a home with a reverse mortgage. So what that means is you will never have a mortgage payment as long as you're living, or as long as you own the home. Okay. All you're responsible for is property taxes and homeowners insurance. So the idea is somebody comes to me or comes to you and they say, "Hey, we really need to go to a single level home." Okay, well, how much do you owe on the home? It's free and clear. Okay, so we get that number, and then we take the replacement property sales price, and let's just say it's $1 million. They're going to take $500,000 and put that as a down payment, be able to live in that house as long as they live, and not have a mortgage payment. So those are the mechanics. Yeah.
Okay. All right.
One of the things that is interesting about this is that there are folks who choose to buy a home that is more, really than what they could ever afford if they had to qualify for the payment. In other words, let's say let's just say they sold the home for $500,000. They bought the home for $40,000 in 1989. It's gone up. They do all the tax things. Yeah. And really consult a tax professional or estate planner before you do anything, just to find out kind of what kind of cash you have to work with.
Yeah.
But they literally take the $500,000 and they put it down on $1 million home. They would have never thought in a million years that they could purchase $1 million home. And here's why they're doing it. Number one, if all things considered, if they're able to transfer their tax basis and it's about what it was before, you say, well, how would that be possible? Well, talk about it.
But if you buy a more expensive home, you do get some kind of an adjustment upward.
You would, but if the value of the home that you're selling is say $1 million,
yeah,
and you're going into one that's $1.2 million, there's a portion of that tax basis. Again, I'm not a CPA or a tax assessor.
Yeah.
But there is a good chance that you can transfer a substantive part of that basis to the purchase of the new home. So what that means is, you've got into a home that you can actually live in, single story, not a lot of property. It's exactly what you need. You don't have a mortgage payment, and you've kept your property tax payments about the same. So that is a win-win.
So the reverse mortgage company basically lends the other 500,000 in that example.
That's correct.
Okay, so that the seller gets the full $1 million of who was selling the house to the client.
That's
and
right.
Then the borrower doesn't have any mortgage payment.
Correct.
They put their entire 500,000 proceeds that they sold their house into the deal.
Yep.
The reverse mortgage company now has a $500,000 first mortgage on the new property.
That's right.
With no mortgage payment.
Correct.
Okay. How old would someone have to be for those kind of numbers to work?
You know what? On the purchase, 62 is the minimum age. It doesn't really fluctuate a whole lot like it would on a refinance of a reverse.
Okay.
As you know, and we've talked about before, the older you are, typically the more money you can qualify for.
Because you're closer to death.
Right. That's true. The old mortality tables. But on a purchase, it's about 50%. And that's
even at age 62?
Yeah.
Wow. That's pretty good. I mean, what kind of interest rate does that effectually?
It's the same interest rates as it would be on a reverse refi. Easy for me to say.
Which is right.
So it's,
what rate is that running right now?
Well, there's fixed and adjustable.
Yeah.
So the adjustable rates are commensurate with traditional mortgage 30-year fixed.
Okay.
Okay. The fixed rate on the reverse mortgage is about 1.5% higher than a traditional.
Okay. And since interest is simple interest, I guess they're thinking that, as long as you're going to live less than, less. I mean, if interest rates are 6% in 16 years, that basically doubles. And if you're 62 years old, you're going to live past 78. I don't know that's a good deal for the client for sure. I don't know about the mortgage.
Well, no, it's a good point in that if home values didn't increase at all, then it might be.
You're right.
But typically and strategically, there are some folks who say, look, I'm going to live in an area that's growing. And so almost the money that they put down, they know there's going to be.
Yeah, and that helps quite a bit. Okay, especially from the mortgage company standpoint. Okay, third trivia question. What tool does Andy use in shaping his chess pieces in the movie The Shawshank Redemption? Call 888-912-1190. First caller with correct answer wins that tanning certificate. Stay with us. The Best of Investing will be right back. Welcome back to The Best of Investing. Edward Brown, along with Michael Brouse here. Third trivia question. What does Andy, and his last name was Dufresne, use in shaping his chess pieces in the movie The Shawshank Redemption? You had to see the movie to know. A rock hammer. He gets a little tiny rock hammer, and he shapes his chess pieces with it, and then he realizes he can use that rock hammer to start carving into the walls, because it's such an old prison that the pieces start falling off, and that's how he eventually escapes. All right. So Michael, you've been telling us some very interesting strategies with regard to reverse mortgages. Again, give out your information, please.
Yeah, it's Michael Brouse, reverse mortgage advisor. And my number, you can call me or text me at 707-888-8230. Or you can hop onto my microsite, if you will. It's norcalreverse.com, norcalreverse.com. And it's not a lot of info in there, but there's one cool thing on there that a lot of people like is the reverse calculator. So people can go on there at no charge and kind of get an idea of how much money they would qualify. And, you know, so that's going to be on a refinance. And I know on this show, we're kind of talking about the reverse for purchase or the HECM for purchase.
Yeah.
So those numbers wouldn't be on there. That would be something that we would need to get together on.
Okay.
So call up your favorite realtor, tell them you're going to list your home, and then we can have a conversation about what the numbers might look like.
Well, I'm sure when you get onto your website and it has the mortgage calculator idea for the reverse mortgages, your contact information's got to be on there too.
Oh yeah. Oh, it's all over there for sure.
Email you.
You can Google Michael Brouse reverse, and if you're in California, it should pop up there somewhere on the world.
Is business pretty busy for you right now? I mean, I know refis are slowing down because interest rates are going up, so people aren't getting a lower interest rate. But
Right.
what about, how's the reverse mortgage business going?
You know what? It is steady in that inflation is cutting into people's buying power.
Ah,
So if somebody is on a fixed income, you know, there might be more month left at the end of the money, and they're yet to uncover, you know, as an idea, the equity in their home. That's why we call that the equity release.
yeah.
And yeah, it's a lot more people are looking into it. I think it's becoming a little bit more mainstream.
Yeah.
And but you know, he or she who educates the most about the particular product and its benefits, I think, is doing the best in this market. And I've been fortunate enough to, you know, be on shows like this, Edward, and you know, kind of share some of the information about that. And I think that really helps.
Yeah. No, it definitely does. Yeah, at Pacific Private Money, I know Mark and Nam are not here, but I kind of know what's going on. Even though, like from a refi standpoint, which they don't do as many refis as they do, you know, original purchases, you know, originating loans. It's been extremely busy. I mean, they have more deals than they have money right now, which is kind of a good place to be.
Wow.
So what they've done is they've increased the rate of return distribution on their Freedom Fund from 6% to 7%. If you put in over $1 million, then it's hey, let's talk. Maybe we can give you actually even a higher rate, and it pays out on a monthly basis. And you can either take the monthly check or you can let it reinvest for a higher rate of return. You know, you're talking about earning, you know, 7.5%, 7.75%. And even though interest rates have gone up from a mortgage standpoint, I don't know how many banks have been raising their deposit rates. You know, not too much. They're still down to about 1%, aren't they?
Yeah, I think so. I think, you know, that's fantastic that buying it. So is it a REIT?
It's not a REIT, it's a mortgage pool fund.
Mortgage pool. Okay. And that's where they're, okay. So yeah, that's outstanding. I mean, I think what's happening is, you know, a lot of folks are stuck in between what's happening now and the interest rate increases.
Yeah.
And, you know, what may come in the fall. You know, I don't know anybody that's not talking about a recession.
True.
You know, we always know that
performing, you know, very well recently. And, you know, people are looking for alternative places to put their money in. One of the best things about the Freedom Fund is the fact that it acts very similar to a money market account in that it's very liquid. You just have to give 30 days notice. So it's not like you have to tie your money up for 5 years or anything. You know, you just tie up your money for basically 30 days, really. And because the reason they can provide such good liquidity is because every 2 to 3 weeks they're packaging loans, selling them to Wall Street and getting the money right back, so they can redeem people without a problem. And again, as I say, it's similar to a money market account, but you just can't write checks on it. So,
Got it.
you just choose whether you want to take a monthly check or let it reinvest. Now, there's two catches to that. One, in order to invest, you have to be an accredited investor. And that means that you have to either have a net worth exclusive of your home of at least $1 million, or if you're single, you make $200,000 a year, married $300,000 a year for the last couple of years, and that's just a regulatory situation. So, unfortunately, if you don't meet those requirements, you're not allowed to invest. The other thing is, because of the nature of this fund, they're really trying to attract larger depositors. So $250,000 the minimum. They've told me that they have accepted people or investments of like 150,000 with the sort of a, gee, if we like this fund, we'll probably add to it without any obligation, maybe bring it up to a 250 or 500,000. But we've had people put in a couple of million, and not bad. I mean, when I say they don't bat an eye, I mean, 2 million is a lot of money.
Yeah.
But they check out the company. They come visit the office in Novato on Grant Avenue, right on in the financial district of Novato. There's like 4 banks there,
Right. Yeah. Right on Grant. Right.
Right on Grant. Yeah. So it's you just call and make an appointment. 415-883-2150, pacificprivatemoney.com, and just ask to set up an appointment to learn more about it. Obviously, you can ask for emailed information that can get emailed to information that can get emailed to you. But that's the kind of the main fund they're pushing now, because that's the one that's got the largest command for money. They also have another fund called the North Star Fund, which is a construction loan fund. Pays a little bit higher interest rate, but it's a construction loan fund. So people have to kind of understand that.
Yeah, let me ask you on the mechanics of that, if we have time. So if somebody put in $1 million, at what point would that become 7 million? Would it be a year that money would be held for? Because I guess that would be 7% on $1 million, would be 7 million, right? Or 7,000.
70,000.
70,000. So let's say it's a 6-month deal.
So they get half of 70, they get 35,000. Right?
Really?
Yeah, because just imagine putting money in the account at 7%.
Yeah.
7% divided by 12, you get 1/12 of that every single month, and you can either take the monthly check or let it reinvest. So
it's like an income right there.
Yeah. Oh yeah. No, it's definitely. I mean, it's paying more than 5 times what the bank's paying. And it's not very risky. Okay. All right. Stay with us. The Best of Investing. We'll be right back with some closing comments. Don't touch that dial. Welcome back to the Best of Investing. Last time for today, I'm Edward Brown, your host, along with my special guest, Michael Brouse. And both Nam Phan and Mark Hunt are off today. So, Michael, what advice right off the bat would you give to clients, potential clients, and give us a couple of myths, because a lot of people don't understand.
Yeah. Well, first, I appreciate the opportunity to share some of these concepts, because there are a few moving parts with regards to the reverse mortgages. And, the big 2 myths, if there's the big 2, is that, folks lose title to the home when they do a reverse mortgage.
Which is kind of funny, because when you go to Wells Fargo for a bank loan, nobody ever thinks Wells Fargo is on title to own the house.
No, no, they don't. And that's the thing. Same with a car.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Do you not get to drive the car around? Do you not have responsibility for, maintaining it? And all
if you
that?
don't pay, then they foreclose.
Right.
But
right.
on a reverse mortgage, there is no payment.
Yeah, that's exactly right. All you got to. Yeah, and you just have to make sure your property taxes and homeowners insurance is paid, but there's no minimum payment due. The other thing is, in California, especially in certain areas, the equity growth is just incredible. Like you buy the home, and like we've talked about on this show, is they bought the home in 1989 for $40,000, and it's like $1 million something now. Well, if you do the math on that, you're not going to find that kind of return anywhere. Well, maybe except in your pool, your mortgage pool there. But no, we're talking, maybe anywhere from 10 to 16% consistently year over year when things are really going up. And so and you get to live in the home.
Yeah.
You can paint the walls yellow.
Yeah.
You're not at the mercy of a landlord.
What if I don't like yellow?
Right. It is what it is, baby. That's your house.
I'm sorry, you have to paint yellow.
Right. Yeah. That would be a little interesting. Yellow. I always think of the yellow Volkswagen Beetle parked in the driveway of a yellow home, and the inside of the house is painted canary yellow.
Who's got that?
That's a lot of yellow. And sorry for that visual if anybody had to go there.
Have you ever seen a house like that?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, I have. Of course, that Volkswagen yellow is it's not a bright yellow. It's more of a, well, how would you describe it? I think there's a little green in it. But it's one of the standard colors that the old Bugs came out in. I think.
Yeah.
I think I've seen some original Volkswagens, which I really love. I love old Volkswagens that are restored.
We used to have one a long time.
Oh, did you? What color was it?
For some reason, she wanted it because it had the little thing with the flower you could put in.
Oh,
I go,
those are the new ones.
For Volkswagen, just for the flower. I said, I'll bring you flowers every week.
Right. Yeah, that flower in the dashboard is like, that's the selling point, right? That's why I'm buying this car. Yeah. I am so groovy.
Yeah.
Got a flower in the dashboard. No, they are cool. I mean, it's they're they never die.
Yeah, no, it was a very simple engine. So it's like my brother used to have a 1966 Dodge Slant 6, Dodge Dart with the Slant 6 engine. And anybody who knows those engines, they were so good, they never broke down, which is why they stopped making them because there was nothing to repair. And there were too many people to work on. They go, hey, it's like, they could make light bulbs last 100 years, but then guess what? They can't sell any more light bulbs. So, they decide, no, we're going to do ones that only last just a little bit,
Yeah, some about that planned obsolescence thing.
Yeah, exactly. Well, Michael, give out your information one more time, and then we're going to go to our thoughts for the day.
Yeah. So with regards to the reverse mortgage and the reverse for purchase specifically, if there's interest in that, you can call me or text me at 707-888-8230, or you can go to norcalreverse.com, norcalreverse.com. And I would just throw this out there. If you have a financial quarterback in your family, realtor, financial planner, Uncle Bob, talk to them about it too.
All right. Sounds good. Okay. Here's our thoughts for the day. Why is tennis such a loud sport? Because each player raises a racket. And my wife said, you really have no sense of direction, do you? And I said, where'd that come from? All right. Tune in next week to The Best of Investing. We're going to be giving away more free prizes for answering trivia questions. Thanks for listening. On behalf of our team, I'm Edward Brown, wishing you the best of investing. So long.
The next